birthday today. It's yours. Happy birthday. I love you so much. Wilson turned 7 today. I cannot believe how long we've had him. I just feel like he's still such a puppy. Love this dude so much. So it's about that time of the day and week where it's time for me to juice my watermelon. If you've been following my channel for a while, you know that I drink my morning watermelon juice every day of the week. I just can't start my day without watermelon juice. It's just my favorite. I love it. It makes me feel amazing. And I always like to start my day with fresh fruit, and there's no better way to do that than with juicing it and just drinking it, and it just tastes so good and fresh. And I've showed this before on my channel, but I thought I would, you know, kind of update you and show you the process of how everything works. So kind of show you my setup really quick. I got 3 watermelons to juice, and I just got these from Walmart. They were literally only $2. Like, you can't get better than that. So I will just cut this in half with this knife, and then I will scoop out the insides, put it into the bowl. Once I have that whole bowl filled, I will then take it over to my juicer. This is the setup we got for the juicer, and this is what it is called, and you can find it on Amazon really cheap. Highly recommend. I mean, let's be honest, it's not the best juicer in the world, but does it get the job done? Yes. Does it work like I needed to? Yes. So that's why I got this one. One day I would love to get a more high-end juicer, but that's just not realistic right now, and this one works fine and does exactly what I needed to. I've not had any issues with it, and I've had it for like 2 or 3 years, and I've had no problems, like I said. So if you're trying to, like, you know, get into the juicing lifestyle, highly recommend this just for starting out even, and you can totally progress and get a better one later on. Just wanted to throw that out there that you can get this one off Amazon, and I will link it below for you if I can find it, because I've had this for quite some time, so it might not be the exact same one. This is the setup I kind of have, and it's not the most clean process, so that's why I have it on this tray right here, just so it doesn't get, you know, everywhere. It still does get quite messy, but this just helps a little bit. I always just throw like a plastic trash bag in this compartment of the juicer, because that's where you put the watermelon in here. It comes out here, and then all the extra pulp goes down in here, and that's why I have this plastic bag in here, so it's just less of a mess. So when it goes in there, I can just take the trash bag out, throw it in the trash can, and replace it with a new trash bag when it gets too full from me juicing the stuff through here. And once it comes out, I will just store it in my mason jars. And then I have this on the side extra here, just like any bowl, you know, and then I set my little fine strainer on top of that, because when I am cutting this, there is juice that's already getting in here, just because watermelons, you know, are very watery, so there's going to be juice in here before I ever even put it in the juicer. So while I'm doing that process as well, I will just throw the juice that was in that bowl into here just to strain it even further, and then I will put the pulp in here and strain it out even further. So that is just kind of the rundown of the process. I will just kind of film me doing it, so you kind of can get a better idea if this is something you're interested in. If you're thinking about juicing, or if you've ever thought about doing it, this is your sign to start now.
My heart is beating to your drum, and I'm blinded by the sunshine in your eyes. Not thinking twice, am I this dumb? Although I know.
So as I start scooping the watermelon out into this bowl, you get the juice, you know, as you're scooping with the spoon. So that is why I said I take that juice in here and I pour it in here to further strain it, so you don't get any of these like little seeds and all that in there. So that is what I will continue to do, is just scoop all that inside out of the watermelon, put it in the bowl and strain it, and then put it in the juicer. And that is just kind of the process. It usually takes me around 45-ish minutes to do 3 watermelons, sometimes faster, sometimes slower, just kind of depends on, you know, how fast I'm doing it that day. But yeah, that's kind of the little process so far.
How could I crave something so bad? My sweaty palms reveal a warning I should hear.
This is just the juice just alone from scraping out all the insides from the watermelons. So there's the first one, the second one, and then I have the third bowl right there, and that's just like extra juice from, just like I said, scraping out the watermelon. And there's juice already in one mason jar, so then I'm going to pour the rest in here. And that's always extremely satisfying when I can fill up one mason jar just solely from scraping the insides of the watermelon out. And that's usually a good sign, because that means the watermelons I got are really like riper, so they're producing, you know, more fluids than like one that would be not so ripe and you can't get as much juice out of the watermelon as you would like. So that happens sometimes, and that sucks, but this looks like it's gonna be a good one. And now it's time to actually use this juicer and throw it all in there. So let's get this process started.
I don't care, you drive me mad. I'll ignore the truth and run to you. So we could drive away. You'll hear me say everything is gonna be okay. I don't need nobody else. Obsessed with you, try to stop me, but I'm under your spell. Can't help myself. You know too well I need you close.
Okay, so that is another mason jar full of watermelon juice done. So I got 2 and now I got a few more to go. Just, you know, kind of a time-consuming process. I usually always listen to like a podcast or something. I've actually listened to a really good podcast recently. It's by Jenny McCarthy. She just was featured on this episode of this podcast and I just thought it was really good. So I'll link it down below if I can remember. Totally recommend listening to this podcast if you're, you know, into the whole podcast thing, which I am. I totally recommend you do that. It's always kind of useful just like listening to music when I was doing stuff, which is great too, but I always kind of like to learn every chance that I get and just kind of expand my mind and consciousness and everything like that. So I feel like listening to podcasts really helps me with that. So I'll link some of my podcasts that I've been kind of into lately. And I always usually listen to Gary V's podcast too. And if you don't know who Gary V is, I think you're probably sleeping under a rock. No, I'm kidding. But if you don't know who Gary V is, you should totally look him up. He is such a good podcaster. He's even on YouTube and everything too. But I usually just listen to him on podcasts or Instagram and whatnot. And I just love everything he has to say. It always makes me just like push myself even more. And that's kind of like the podcast I like to listen to. So if you're into, you know, those kind of podcasts too, I will try and link some of my favorite ones down below for you. So I just finished juicing all of the watermelon and I ended up yielding 10 mason jars. So that's like I could have 2 per day for 5 days, or just depending if I just want 1, I could make this last pretty much the whole week. And not to mention, those watermelons were only $2 a piece. So that was $6 total for my breakfast throughout the whole week, which I think is pretty dang good. So just know that you can do this for a very reasonable price. And depending on the watermelon, obviously, and how ripe it is how much yield you will get from the juice of it. I just put them all in my little mason jars here. And with these really tight lids, so the nutrients just stay really fresh. Then I had a little bit of extra left over, so this is going to be for Wilson, so he could have some watermelon. He loves the watermelon juice as well, so I always try, if I have extra, to give him some. And what better day than today, because today is his birthday, so he will get a little, you know, good watermelon juice. I didn't really keep track of the time, but it's 2:08, and I felt like I did that pretty quickly. I would say, like I said, it was probably about 45 minutes or less, because I have a pretty good routine down now and how I would do everything. And I just kind of wear a shirt that I don't really care about getting messy, because watermelon is pretty sticky and it can kind of get messy. And so I just wear stuff I don't really care about getting stuff splashed on me, just in case if that were to happen, you know. Just FYI, if you are doing this, it is a little bit messy, but totally worth it, because now I have my breakfast for literally the entire week. So that just makes me so happy, and it tastes so good and fresh first thing in the morning. Hey you. You want some watermelon juice? Okay, because you asked. Here you go. Good shit, huh? I hope you have the best day ever, because you deserve it. So now I need to jump into my painting clothes, because I need to finish painting this room, which we now call our lounge room. If you guys watched one of my previous vlogs, I'll try to link it up here for you, about me talking about the room that we're currently redoing right now, which used to be our old computer room back in the day. And so now we're just kind of making it like our own kind of room, like a lounge-ish type of styled room. I already painted the ceiling, as you can see. It was that nasty maroon color, if you guys remember from the last vlog, and it is now a beautiful white color. It looks so good, and it really just lifted the room and makes it look so much bigger. This is the color we went with. It was the aged beige color. It's that perfect color that's in between beige and gray, and it's just like not too dark, not too light. Like we didn't want like a really white color. If you guys remember, this was maroon down here, so we did the white base coat and then we did the color coat over here and then just went over the wood trim, and let me tell you, it just looks so amazing. I'm so happy with how it's turning out. So that was one wall we finished painting and did the trim up there and everything. I need to knock out another wall today. Thinking that wall over there, not positive, but this is the color that it currently was. Oh, painting is such a pain in the ass, so I'll show you guys the painting process, and I can't wait to see what we end up doing with it, like putting in here and styling it wise, because it already looks so much better.
Trying to stop the fire under your spell, can't help myself.
So I've got my paint ready to go, and it's time to get painting on that wall. As you can tell, these clothes pretty well have gotten a lot of paint on it. I would say I'm a pretty messy painter when it comes to getting it all over me anyway. So yeah, enjoy watching me paint. Oh, and before I forget, nice little tip here is always keep a wet rag on hand on your ladder whenever you're painting, just in case you hit the wall or do any like marks where you're not supposed to get the paint at. You can just rub it off really quick with a wet rag. With a wet rag. So just make sure and always have this on hand.
And suddenly I'm by your side, 'cause I'm out of things to explain how I feel. It's better to enjoy the ride. I feel at home, never alone. My friends are asking me if I've left the planet, 'cause I seem high all the time. They think I'm in a film noir, but my impression is that I'm in heaven. So we could drive away. You'll hear me say everything is gonna be okay.
So now all I have left really is to paint the top of that wall with the window over there. I just wanted to get the top out of the way so I'm not going up and down the ladder so much. Is like, that's what's the most annoying. Not even like the painting itself, it's just having to get down and move the ladder every single time, you know, you gotta paint a new strip, and it just, and I hate when it's like in the drying process, because it looks like when I'm up there it's looking great, but then when I come down here and it's all like different, I feel like it looks like absolute shit. And I'm like, oh, it's like all drying, so you don't really know till it's all fully dry. So yeah, I'm just gonna finish the rest of the top of the wall over there with the roller, and then we're gonna move down to the middle.
I don't need nobody else, I'm obsessed with you. Try to stop the fire under your spell, can't help myself.
So now I'm gonna go and try to knock out this wall over here and just finish that for the day. I think, because I pretty well, like I said, did all of the top. So I'm thinking we're gonna finish this down here. That's the game plan.
I need you close, can't help myself. Try to stop the fire under your spell, can't help myself.
You guys probably aren't gonna be able to see this because my battery's about to die. But I'm gonna finish and move down onto the second half of the wall. I just pretty much finished this entire wall up here. And now, whoa. And now we're moving on to the bottom.
So well, can't help myself. You know you are, I need you close.
Okay, so sadly my camera died, like I had said, so I didn't get to really show you me doing the rest of the room. I can't believe I just knocked out that much painting. I didn't even expect to go that far, but you know, I was kind of feeling motivated and a little bit more productive today to kind of go full force into it. So I pretty well got the first coat of every wall in this room done. Hallelujah, I'm so happy. So now I'm just on to second coats and trim and touch-up work. So that makes me really happy. But the sun is about to set right now, and so I can't really see much else in here to like do anything more. So I think I'm gonna take Wilson on a little sunset walk for his birthday. So I'm gonna kind of clean up just a little bit because I have paint all over my fingers and it's so hard to get off. And then I'm gonna take him on a little walk. You wanna go on a walk? Okay, let's go. Are you ready? Let's go. It's getting cold, Will. It's gonna be cold. So cold. Okay, well, it's not like super freezing, but it is pretty dang cold out. When I take him on like longer walks, I like to put him on the leash so we can walk a little bit farther than his usual. Let's go this way. And let's be honest, he's usually walking me. It actually feels kind of good out, to be honest. I was just sweating my ass off painting, so this chill outside right now is honestly not too bad. The moon. Are you kidding me? It's so cute. So I actually love this coat that I'm wearing right now. It's by the brand 𝙊𝙃𝙃𝙀𝙍. One of my favorite coats I have. It's just kind of like, actually it's kind of like a shacket. I guess that's what they call it, like a shirt jacket. Kind of like that corduroy black on the outside, and on the inside it's that faux fur, like kind of Sherpa material. So if they still have it, I'll try and link it, but I don't know if they do because I got it last year around Christmas time because these were like so in style and just completely covers everything so good. I'll show you. It's kind of like the length that it is. I just love how it fits, and it's perfect for like layering over like even like hoodies like this or anything, and like some sweatpants, and it's like the perfect arm length, and it's so cozy. And it's not too heavy. It's just like the perfect kind of cover up jacket to keep you warmer, especially because it has that inside fur. I also just realized I had a little speck of paint on my lip this entire time, so if I can see that on the video, that's going to absolutely annoy the heck out of me. But it's off now. Who knows? I get paint splatters everywhere on me when I paint. It's just inevitable. You got a puss! You got a puss for your birthday! Each little tentacle has a...
How does he know that's for him?
I don't know. I guess because they all kind of have this look to them.
Not yet.
You got a
Hey, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Sit. No, up here. Up here. Wait a minute.
Sit up here. He's like, well, she lost her mind.
He ain't gonna sit.
Sit up here. Sit up here.
Sit. 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 It's your new toy. Okay. It's your new toy.
Happy birthday! You're 7, so you get a 7 candle.
I don't know how good this candle's going to stay in here, so you better get a picture fast in the hat. Happy birthday to you.
Aw. Happy birthday, dear Wilson.
Sit.
Happy birthday
To you. Woo!
Blow out your candle. I can't believe I got pictures of him with the hat on.
He did good.
He did. I was surprised. You were so sweepy. You still seem out of it. Would you look at that? Looks so beautiful. Do you think it looks better? Me too. So yesterday I ended up being able to finish the first coat on every wall in this room, and it looks so good and bright and just fresh. I'm so happy that I was able to just like power through it yesterday. I was peeling it. So obviously it's the next day. I'm back in my beautiful painting clothes again because the goal is to put the second coat on everything today, just so I can be done with this room. No more painting. It's gonna feel so good to finally get that done. So I think I might start with the trim and then do the roller, possibly. We'll see. I'm just gonna drink my watermelon juice that you would have seen me juice yesterday in the vlog. Like I said, if you don't have a juicer, go and get yourself one. You will not be disappointed. You can juice so many different things. Like, you don't even have to just juice fruit. If you're like a vegetable person, you can juice all your vegetables like carrots and even apples together. It's a really good combination. So highly recommend getting a juicer because it changed my life. It makes my breakfast really easy. It's easy on my digestion. So I just use a little tray kind of like this with a tiny brush like this. And I love this brush. We got this from Lowe's. Don't know exactly what it's called. A 2-inch 50.8mm Trilon. I don't know. That's what it is. And this is a really nice brush. One thing I've learned from painting is it's worth it to buy the more expensive brushes because it makes all the difference in the amount that is applied and how well and like the less amount of streaks that you'll have on your wall. Getting a really nice brush, totally worth it. Spend the extra money because it will save you a lot of time and it'll look so much better. But yeah, like I said, I think I'm gonna start with the trim work today. And so I'm just gonna pour some paint into here and get going on that. And we also got this little thing that goes on the paint can here. Once you like take the lid off, you put it right here. So when you're pouring it, it doesn't like get all over the can and as messy as it normally would. And I actually kind of like this. It makes like doing the paint and everything a little bit easier because messing with paint and pouring a lot is just really messy. So yeah, we saw one of these and I think it works pretty good. Oh, and I realized that there's different kind of, I don't know exactly what it's called, I guess like enamels of different types of paints. And I know there's like a flat, a gloss, a satin, and I'm not sure the other ones. I just know there was a couple more, but the one we got is eggshell, and it's kind of in between of a flat and a satin-ish, I think. So it's not like super flat matte looking, it just has a little bit of sheen to it, and I personally like that. So if you're looking for some paint and you just don't know which one to go for, just a recommendation I have for you is getting the one that says eggshell. I think it just looks so nice on your walls. The trim all in the room, and now I'm just moving on to the very last part that I have to do, which is finish rolling the walls just for the second coat. Because when I was going over the trim areas, I just saw a few spots on the walls that I just thought needed some touch up, and just because I know it's there, I just have to do it. I can't leave it. So I'm just gonna touch up everything for a second coat. And this is actually what's left of the first can of paint. I've only had to use 1 can of paint so far. We bought 2. I thought I could get it all done with 1 can of paint. So now I'm just moving on to the final touches, and then this room will officially be done and painted. And we can move on to like cleaning the floors and everything and just decorating and styling, which is the most fun part. Cannot wait to do that. So yeah, I need to finish touching up, rolling everything now. This last second coat is really testing me right now. I'm just like, well, I actually did a workout yesterday that kicked my ass. Literally, like my whole butt and legs are so sore. It was like a booty leg kind of burnout, and it was, I mean, successful because my legs and bum are hurting. Really feeling it now, but I'm so determined. I'm gonna get this second coat done while I have the daylight left. So this is what I'm gonna continue to do probably for the next hour. I would say this is gonna take, so we'll see. So I'm officially done with the second coat of everything. I just finished it now, and I'm just, I don't even know at this point what I'm even saying or doing. My back hurts so bad, but the room looks so good. I'm finally glad it's just done and over with. Nothing left to do paint wise, unless we take the tape off and there's spots we need to touch up, obviously. So hopefully that's not the case, but I'm absolutely tired. It's like 4 o'clock now, I think, or a little after. That just took literally all day. So long, but I'm so happy it's finally done. I cannot believe it. It looks so good. I can't wait to show you whenever it's like all completely done and like furnished, like when we have like our final setup, like how we want it in here, which I don't even know for sure like what we even want to do exactly with this room. Everyone in the house has their own idea of what they want to do. Either way, it's going to be cute and look much better than it did before, let me tell you. I don't know if I'm going to film anything else today because my back is just hurting and I just want to like lay down. And the only thing I've had to eat today is my watermelon juice because I've just like been grinding and wanting to get this done. So I'm definitely going to eat something because I'm hungry. My hands like hurt. They feel so red from like pushing on the brush really hard. Like my thumbs hurt. Oh, it's a lot painting. Sorry if I'm like complaining, but you don't know unless you do it. It's a lot. It looks so good right now because it's golden hour pretty much, and it's just shining so nicely in the room right now. I'll try to show you. This is kind of what it is when you first walk in. Spin you around so you can see a little better. Very natural, and I like that. I just did the bottom here. That's what I was finishing up just now, so it looks a little splotchy still because it's still drying in areas, but that's what I just finished. I think the room is looking so phenomenal. Like, I'm obsessed with it. If you can't tell how many times I've probably said that already. But yeah, I'm just so happy to be done with this.